Okay, so today we're going to talk about meteorology, and the first thing we're going to talk about is the formation of precipitation. So, water is made of hydrogen and oxygen, and as temperature increases, the motion of the molecules will increase, but still have the same mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. Water has molecules that are still slightly packed, but they move faster. Water does not have a definite shape, but it does have a definite volume. And when we're talking about the formation of precipitation, we think of the water cycle. And in the water cycle, the first thing is that water in liquid form will evaporate into the atmosphere, changing from liquid to water vapor. Then, water vapor then condenses into liquid droplets that form clouds. And when the clouds are too full of these droplets, they will rain down on the earth, and the cycle begins again. Now we're going to talk about 4 different kinds of precipitation. The first one is rain. So rain is just little droplets of water that fall from the clouds. Snow is a solid form of precipitation produced by sublimation of water vapor. Sleet is frozen or semi-frozen rain formed when raindrops freeze as they pass through a layer of cold air. And lastly, hail is spherical ice pellets having layers and formed by the constant freezing of layers of water. Next, we're going to talk about the types of fronts. So we have 4 different kinds, and as you can see right here is a cold front. So a cold front is, you can see that cold air mass is on the left, and the direction of the front is going to the right, and warm air mass is on the right. So when cold air actively advances to a region usually occupied by warm air is a cold front. And a cold front is usually a shorter downpour of rain. Next, we have a warm front, and a warm front is when warm air occupies where cold air used to be. And the weather in that is usually light rain that happens over a long period of time. Next, we have an occluded front, and that is when an active cold front takes over a warm front. And the weather in that front is usually heavy to light precipitation, and it depends on the atmospheric conditions there. And lastly, we have the stationary front right here, and that is when the flow is neither toward warm air or toward cold air mass, and it does not move. So there is a gentle and moderate precipitation, and that's all for that. Next, we're going to talk about airlifting. So airlifting is important because the lifting is creating different types of weather. And lifting is air flowing vertically. And we're going to discuss 2 out of the 4 kinds of lifting today. The first one on the left is the orographic lift, and that is when air is forced to rise over a mountainous barrier. And a convective lift is where unequal surface hits and causes localized pockets of air to rise because of their buoyancy. And that is all we have today. Thank you.